Hi everyone, this is Linda, and let's do some embossing with a center area that's open using the MySewNet digitizing software, and we're going to use a couple of different modules.
So, so to create an embossed design that can go on like a towel that has embossing all the way around, a satin stitch around the outside edge, and maybe a letter or something else in the center, and you also want that to have a satin stitch. So to do that, we're going to do a couple of different things. I'm going to cancel out of my design player and I'm going to delete that. I am going to go into the Create tab here, and I'm going to go into Digitizing. It'll take a second. And then I'm going to choose Load or Create a Background Picture. So I'm actually going to create my picture, which makes it really quick and easy to do. So I'm going to create a new picture. And again, it's going to open up my Draw Paint area. And so what I want to do is I actually want to insert a shape first. So I'm going to go into Insert, and I'm going to choose a shape. Now there's all kinds of different shapes you can choose, and I'm going to actually just choose the little flower like there, and I'm going to do Insert Shape, and of course I want it larger than that, so I'm going to hold my Control and Shift key and make it so it fits almost the whole thing. And then I want to put a letter in the inside of area here. So I have access to all kinds of different fonts in here. I'm going to just choose that one. I'm going to put in the letter L for my name. Whoops. Capital L, and insert the letter. And again, I'm going to make it larger, so I'm going to hold my Control and my Shift key. Oop, I need to make sure I have that selected, Control and Shift, and make it a little bit larger. And then I want to change the color just so it stands out a little bit better. So I'm just going to go and change my line to an automatic black, and I'm going to change this. I don't care, it's purple. I know it stands out quite a bit, so I can move it to where I want it. So now I have my drawing. So in the MySewNet software, it makes it really nice. I can actually just close this. It brings up that drawing into the wizard. I'm going to do Next, and I'm going to leave it just like that. I'm going to use the 120 by 120 hoop, Finish. And so the first thing I want to do is I want to create that embossing with that satin stitch around the area. I'm going to do a quick create. It's a really quick way to do this. And I'm going to change pattern fill, and I'm going to do crosshatch fill, and I'm going to leave a satin line on here, and I'm going to go quick stitch plus hole, and I'm going to click here. And you notice that I have little blue and yellow lines here, and I guess that's red and blue there. I'm going to do OK. So that I want this to be a little bit closer together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select it, right mouse click again, and I'm going to change it as crosshatch fill, and I'm going to do a 2.5 here. Oops. To make them a little bit closer together. But I want a little bit more to that. I want to get some cross hatches going the other way. So the one thing I can do is here I'm going to do a right mouse, and I'm going to say duplicate. And it's going to if I do duplicate, you notice it kind of moves it off to the side. So I'm going to undo that, do that, select right mouse, copy, and then if I do a paste, it puts it right on top in exactly the same area. So now I have a second one, and it looks exactly the same thing. So I'm going to go to this first one here, and I'm going to do a right mouse click, and I'm going to do Properties. I'm going to change that I'm going to select crosshatch fill, but I still want 2.5, but this time I want it squared. So it's kind of squared, and I don't want anything but maybe a running stitch around the outside edge. Because what will happen is so now what will happen is it will actually stitch the ones that are going cross, up and down and left and right, and it will just put an outline stitch there so that I can kind of see where it's going to go. And then it will do this part, and it will sew the crosshatch going diagonally, and then add the satin line. So right mouse, I'm going to do Properties. Did I do that? Yeah, so I changed that to a running stitch and a crosshatch fill. I have the second one that's going to do the satin, and this is what if I close this, it's going to bring it over into my software, and there it is. That's all there is to it. That's one way to do it. There are other ways, but this is a quick, basic way to do it. So let's quickly do the design player. So I'm actually going to run this through really quick, just so that you can kind of see it. It's going to do the perpendicular lines going up, down, left, right, and then it's going to do the diagonal lines, and it's going to do the satin stitch. And there it is. I hope you do some of these. Thanks.